Okay guys, get this video started. We're going to review this. I'll talk a little bit about it. Maybe I'll hit on some other stuff here. So this is open workout 22.1. It is 3 wall walks, 12 alternating dumbbell snatches, 50 pounds, and 15 box jump overs. And that's get over the box, 24-inch box, and kind of get over the box any way you want, as long as 2 feet touch the top and 2 feet end up on the ground on the other side. So so this was my first workout that we ever did. We didn't know anything about what a wall walk was or how to go about doing it, and I probably would have injured myself if I would have tried it at that point 3 years ago. So we did not the scaled down version. We did what they call foundations, which is scaled down from the scaled down. And so instead of a wall walk, we did a bear crawl, and I wish I could remember the distance on that. I think it was like 5 feet. It was just, we had 2 tape lines 5 feet apart, and you started with your hands behind this one and you ended with your feet across the other one. And I can't remember, I think it was 3 of those. And so that was obviously way scaled down from a wall walk. And then the dumbbell snatches were the same number. It was still 12, but it was a 20-pound dumbbell instead of the 50. So that was, less than half the work there, obviously. And then the box. So the box was a 12-inch box, and we didn't have a 12-inch box, so we built this janky 12-inch box out of some old plywood that was out there at the shop. And we just did, and it wasn't jumps, it was step overs. So you just stepped up and had to touch 2 feet on the top and 2 feet down on the other side, and you couldn't jump off. That was one of the rules on the foundations. You had to just take it nice and easy and step over. So I can't remember how many rounds I ended up getting through on that. I think I got through like 8 rounds and maybe into that 9th round and a couple reps on that. But it was. I'll see if I can find that video. I might splice it in here or splice a piece of it in here. So strategy on this workout. Okay, so I had a couple of goals. So in the previous videos you've seen, like, I've taken some longer breaks, and so I've really been trying to focus on getting those long breaks down. Now, I'll tell you, I've already watched this video. I don't take any of those really long breaks. There's one time where I put my hands on my knees, and then I catch myself, and I'm like, no, get a hold of that dumbbell and go. And then you'll see, I'll go up out of these wall walks off the bottom of it, and I'll kind of sit there on my knees for a half a second and kind of think about my life and think if I want to do something different, and then do the wall walk. But it's not seconds. It's multiple seconds. It's just a couple of seconds. I was kind of looking at that as I was going through the workout. So my transitions and my break type stuff, I'm wasting 10 seconds there, which you're going to have some time in the transitions. But in my fastest transitions, I was probably closer to 7 seconds. And so I'm going and marking on the board right there my rounds. So Dan's doing this workout next to me there, and he marked that first round. And so then I felt bad. I'm like, oh, Dan doesn't have to mark all these rounds. So I snuck over there ahead of him and marked that second round down. But I lost my train of thought. So anyways, 10 seconds. I thought, and I was looking at it, I'm like, man, if I could do those transitions a little faster and shave off 3 seconds in this workout, it would have ended up amounting to over a minute of extra time. And you'll see at the end of the workout, so the wall walks they get really hard for people. Now, they felt pretty easy for me today. Actually, none of this really felt very terrible, and which is why I'm talking about, I probably could have shaved a little time off here or done better here. I was able to just kind of keep moving. I didn't hit muscle exhaustion. You know, like if you're doing bench press and you do 10 reps at 225 and you're trying for that 11th, like if it's not there, it's just not there, and your muscle is exhausted and it's not going to happen. And there are some workouts like that where you'll hit exhaustion on a muscle group or a muscle, and then it's just not happening, like dips or pull-ups or whatever. So that didn't happen in this workout, so that's why I'm talking about, okay, yeah, probably could have moved a little faster, and maybe got through a couple of extra wall walks at the end of this. But let's talk about splits. Okay, so this is a really interesting thing. So that first round, I did it in 1:38, and just for my own information, I was like, I wonder what that would look like if I could have maintained that 1:38 pace all the way through. And so I just looked it up on the leaderboard, and that speed of movement is like a top, I think it was like top 2% in the world on this workout at that time 3 years ago in my age group. Everything I talk about is my age group. I'm not talking about youngsters who are in the prime of their lives. Like I said, I don't have any pride anymore. I don't care about that. I'm just trying to be fit for my age. And so yeah, in my age group, if I could have kept that up, that was like top 2%, which there was no way I was keeping that up. But maybe one day, if I could get my weight down just a little bit and maintain my muscle, might be able to do that. So yeah, 1:38 on my first split, and then my next round went up to 2:04, which that was still better than what I wanted to pace this at. So my original plan was I wanted to get 6 rounds plus 1 wall walk. And the reason for that number was I went to that leaderboard from 2022 and kind of looked what the 55th percentile would have been number-wise, and that's where it fell. And so the reason so I've done a couple of these workouts now, and that's kind of where I've been falling, in that kind of 50 to 60, 60th percentile range. And so I wanted to, for this workout, at least be able to kind of match that. And so that was kind of the number I had in mind. And I went through that first round, and I'm like, oh crap, I didn't even hit 2 minutes, and I felt pretty good at that point. And so I was kind of thinking, okay, well, we'll see if I still keep feeling good and what these next rounds look like. And so I'm trying to see where I'm at there, 7-8 minutes or whatever, and I'm finishing up, I think that was round 4 maybe. And so anyways, I was ahead of pace by quite a little bit. And so I'm sitting there thinking, well, even if I kind of fall off a little bit more, I should be all right to kind of keep going and maybe shoot for 7 rounds or more. So, but yeah, you can see that little break right there, and then like I just kind of think, nope, I gotta go. I should talk about this wall walk. So you can do these different ways. So you can do them without those tape lines. If you don't have the tape lines, the furthest tape line out is not as big of a deal. You pretty much just have your hands kind of under your shoulders and start stepping your feet up there. The important thing is both feet have to be off the ground before your hands start moving back. And then if you don't have a tape line back against the wall, you just go all the way back until your thighs and your chest are touching the wall. Now, don't judge me that way here, because that wasn't the standard here. The standard was this 60-inch tape line and the 10-inch tape line. And so anyways, that made these a lot easier. I'm pointing at the screen over here where I'm watching this video. That made these a lot easier, having that target, because we've had these in different workouts previously this year as we're kind of leading up to this, and kind of recently. And I just remember doing them and trying to go back and make sure my thighs are on the wall, make sure my chest is on the wall, and not really having like a target to hit with my hands. And when I was doing these, I could see that line, and it was just kind of step, 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 hand on the line, and I knew I was there as soon as I hit, and so it was like hand, and then walk back out. And those wall walks were just really, really easy that way. And only 3 of them. I'm doing this a little bit out of order. I've got a video of the workout that I did yesterday that I'm going to do. That was 5, and those were that 4th and 5th one. They started to get a little fatigue in the shoulders, and I kind of had to stop and think about it a little bit between those. I say I had to. I chose to stop and think about it in between the 3rd and 4th and the 4th and 5th reps on those ones. So what else we got going on here? Oh, okay. I'm talking about things as they're not happening, but you can see on my calves and shins there, I've got those little sleeves. Those are actually knee sleeves. They're supposed to be up on my knee. They're not really like a true knee sleeve that would like give you some stability to the joint. They're more like knee socks. Keep your knees warm or something. I don't know. But the reason I got them was 2 reasons. So one was for rope climbs. When you're using your legs going up and down, that you'll get rope burn on your shins when you're kind of doing that little J hook on the rope. And then for box jumps. So it's probably been a couple of years now. I tore my shin open on a box jump, and I mean, it was fine. It wasn't a big deal. I wasn't like injured, but it definitely gets in your head. And then my brother Blake, who you've seen in the other video, he did the same thing. I don't know, a few months after I did mine, and his was actually worse. He said when he jumped up there and hit his shin, he's like, "Oh, good. At least it's not as bad as Anthony's." And then he looked down, and it's like tore all the way to the bone. And I think he ended up, I can't remember how many stitches he got, like 14 stitches or something. And so, yeah. Anyways, you can see, like if you're jumping up and you catch your toe right there, your shins are right over top of a fairly sharp edge on a box, and people do it all the time, tear their shins open. And so some people just learn and don't catch their toes anymore, and then some people like me just say, well, I'm probably not going to learn because I don't learn anything else, so I'll just wear something on my shins I'll still get bruised up, but at least I won't get tore open. Okay, I've got the wrist wraps on. So mostly that's for my left wrist. You're not gonna be able to see it, but I've got like some carpal tunnel there that when I'm doing certain things, it gets really, really aggravated. So that pushing type motion on that wrist, it's not as big a deal. But it's these snatches when I'm kind of pulling that up and trying to get that to come up like that. It'll really, really irritate it, and so I'm just trying to baby it a little bit, which probably is making things worse. I probably should just, I don't know, do something else to get it strengthened up and quit making it weaker by wrapping it, but that's what we're going to do. Okay, we're coming down to the wire here. I don't know why I'm doing these facing away from the clock. It would probably be a lot better to see the clock there. I look at the clock and I think to myself, man, I really don't want to get back to the wall walks. And then right about there, I probably think, okay, I probably should get back to the wall walks. And so I'm busting through these as fast as I was in the first round. There's a lot better techniques on these box jumps. I'm sure this is as good as I can do for now. Push it, buddy. Push it. Push it. Get there. You lazy devil. I want to get to the wall walk, but I kind of don't. Bam. Get over there. You got 5 seconds. Is he going to make it? Beep. Crap. No rep. Didn't get it. So that really, really sucks. That, I think, like I said, those wall walks are a big differentiator. I think if I would have gotten that like one single rep, I looked it up. It was some pretty drastic difference. I think it took you from like the 75th percentile, which is what I got, where I would have placed in this workout with this score, to the 80th percentile. So, all right, I think the video is going to stop there. I don't think there was anything else with that. Here's one thing I will say, and I need to talk about a little bit. So my boy Emmett, he's wrestling this year. He's got some big goals. He took 7th in the state last year, his first year at the AAU state tournament as a 4th grader, and he bumped up into the next age division this year, so it's 5th and 6th graders. But despite wrestling those older kids this year, he wants to, I think he said his goal was he wants to get 5th or better. So he's wanting to kind of get a little improvement there. And so he's been working hard. And last night he came down and he's like, "Hey, Dad, can you put me together a workout?" And so we've done some different things, and he's done some really hard stuff. I said, "Well, let's figure out something pretty hard." So I don't know if anybody's familiar with the workout Kalsu, Kalsu, but it's a hero workout, and it's one of the harder ones. So I said, "Okay, bud, we're gonna do Kalsu," and I explained it to him. It's in every minute on the minute you do a 5 burpee buy-in. So you get your 5 burpees done, and then you do squat thrusters. So that's a full squat, and then you're coming up with your weight and pressing it out overhead after you kind of come up out of your squat. Anyways, he did that with 15-pound dumbbells. So he's 11 years old, and he did that with 15-pound dumbbells, and he got it done in 26 minutes, and he was just dying, and I'm cheering him on, and he's down to 3 reps, and then we get to 80, and I'm like, "Dude, if you can do 5 reps a minute, we're done in 4 minutes." And he's just busting these things out, and it was awesome. So I teared up. Like he was freaking pushing. He's gonna be a stud, but he's gonna get his goal this year. I just tell he's wrestling tough. But shout out to Emmett, great job, buddy. Wish you the best of luck this year.